What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Monday to all of you. So different capping on a Monday than going to some shit job on a Monday. We traditionally do very well on Mondays. A smaller card. We're going to deep dive into each and every one of these games, and I'm very excited to be here with you guys. Don't forget about our $50,000 Pick Six football contest just announced last week. $50,000 free to enter. $50,000 Pick Six contest. To those of you who battled and beat the bag with me in Saratoga, thank you all so much for joining and being a part of the contest. The more of you guys that are in it, the more cash I can have. We have $1,000 for this 3-round Saratoga competition, and what a wild day. First off, Jeff Joseph came in Tuesday of last week, said, I think Tax will win the Jim Dandy. Right away, it sounded good, and I said it right away. After a couple more days of capping, I was completely on board. Tax was morning line 8-1, went off at 4-1, and won the race. Now, sort of fortunate that he won the race. Tacitus is a spectacular horse and tripped in the beginning, was way behind. Everything that could have gone wrong for Tacitus went wrong, and he lost by half a length. Surely he should win the Travers if he's as good as he looked in that race. But I had a rough day. I won the third race, but I didn't win it in the contest, won it betting, and then lost. I was down $167 going into the Jim Dandy. Is that right? 167. I ended up down $19 on the day, so I must have been down even a little more than that. But yeah, 167 going into Jim Dandy. And then I pulled off a six race win streak, a little over 330 to put back. So it was a great day. And this Saturday, we compete again, Saratoga. Also, if you were watching our show during the week, I gave out Channel Cat to win the Bowling Green Grade 2 on grass. I ended up falling in love with a Chad Brown horse from Chile who raced great. Yeah, Prima lost to Channel Cat by a half length. Channel Cat won that race at 13-1. So we're doing great work. Also, Friday was a monster day. 2-0 on my CFL, which one game was Saturday. Up 5 units in MLB. I gave a unit back last night on the under in the Sunday Night Baseball, but still, it was a great Friday. A lot of profit and a fun weekend. I feel refreshed and I'm ready to rock with you guys right now. Shout out to all the cappers on the chat. We got Northside Gambling Channel ready to go. It says New Money Monday. Walla Doe says, God, thank my Yankees for saving me through a rough Sunday. Let's have a great Monday. God, I feel like I really do take a break. Like I bet no baseball other than the Sunday nighter on the under all weekend, and I come back and I'm just jacked, ready to rock. C-Dom, 37. Carlos Peroche and his cheesy balls. Carlos Peroche will be partying in Miami with us. Serious business. Red Girl, gas station sushi says, what was the results of Saratoga contest? I was hoping to have them ready to go. Drew from the SBR Forum, he's on vacation. I'll have him ready for the late show. I did get the last 2 races, thank God. So it wasn't a horrible showing by me, thank God. Abdrazak Abdi, ready to go. We got CT Base, Tomarino, 5-1 last 6 in MLB small card, but I think there's some value. I think there's value too. Larry Edwards, Lucky Larry and Billy. Big Ragu says, leaving Toronto in hours. I wish I could have been up there to party with you, Big Ragu, but I hope you're enjoying your time. And my guy, Abdrazak, also cash with the Yankees. Anthony Mastardi in the house says, hey, Jim Dag and Lowback fan, off work for 5 days because I fell down a flight of stairs. Oh, no. I hate hearing that, Anthony. I hope you're okay. Damn, that's awful. Hope you're okay. Says, so need to win the next couple days to keep the flow of money right since I'm off work with no pay. We can do that. There's Nutflush Allen. Good morning, boys and girls. I have the best show on YouTube on live at the Golden Nugget, Las Vegas. Nutflush Allen in Vegas with his wife, Kristen. Man, and if you want to party with them, you got to come to Miami or get to the Golden Nugget right now. And I hate it. Nutflush Allen already hit with the Giants over, and I was like, yeah, I'm taking this under in Sunday Night Baseball, and he tailed me, and it was not successful. I hate that, but I hope you're having an incredible time there at the Golden Nugget. There's Juan Ruiz ready to go. It says, Leche bubbling and ready for discharge. There's Juan Ruiz. Oh, Juan Ruiz. Walla Dose giving love to Anthony Mastronardi. Cobra Sports says, cash 4 to 5 tickets in the Yankees-Red Sox game last night. Beautiful. Great job, Cobra Sports. Kawaktis ready to go. Says the trusty old fade sale play. Yeah, keeps working. Josh Point, ready to get to work. And Neil Frank. Matt Randall says, thanks to all for helping me have a great birthday. Much love to you, Matt Randall. Thinking about you on Friday. Sam Moctezuma ready to go. Adam Messner said medium level back pain, but painkillers do help, and lots of dabs. Sure, lots of dabs. Anna Merrick ready to go. Bubbarito, Russell Gordy, John Jr. Nut Flush Allen says, got back to him at 4 a.m., but no way I was going to miss the show. What a guy. Nut Flush Allen. Man, love that guy. Antoine Seymour. You want to party with Antoine Seymour? Come down to Miami. There's Mally Mel. There's Poppy Longwood, another man who will be partying with us in Miami. There's Jam Man, who we're hoping will come down from Montreal, but I can understand why you love Montreal in August. But come down to Miami. Quick trip. Montreal, Miami, Jam Man. We need you. Mr. Ghoster. Chino. Dave Burke. What a great, great group. Jonathan Suchi, Daryl Lyles, Jin Rummy, Barry Cohen, Ulysses Hayes, Astute Chaos. All right, great, great, great group. Chris Kaiser, Poker Addicted 79. Beautiful. Okay, and there's Sean Glass, Dave Burke, Berkey play today. KC first 5 minus a half. Jay's first 5 team total under 2.5. I like those looks. I mean, we can think that Keller is going to keep pitching well. My only fear is that Bo Bichette does something magical because he's the 8th ranked prospect in Major League Baseball that we have coming up, Dante Bichette's son. That's my only fear. Russell Gordon says, check your Twitter, Jimmy. I will. Mississippi Kid in the house. Guru Sports Bet, Mr. Spectacular 33. Mississippi Kid saying, Jimmy, you have the best show ever. Thank you, buddy. It's because of us as a group, as a team, that makes this show special. Thank you for the love, Mississippi Kid. You are a big part of this show. C-Dom saying, Burke, nice. I like Kansas. And Mr. Spectacular ready to get to work. Okay, well, let's go. Oh, Yellow Jesus said, Jimmy, I'm trying my hardest to get to Miami. I'm on vacation now, but I may be able to pull up. Yellow Jesus, we need you to spread blessings every night right on the beach. That's where you belong, Yellow Jesus, spreading blessings. Please do it. Doug Barnett says, hey, Jimmy, I can't wait for football. Yes. I'm very excited about football, but it is kind of nice to have a few more weeks of sort of semi-downtime before the season kicks up and we go so hard. So, it's just going to be so much work, and I'm a little concerned. And we've got to set it up for everybody taking their different conferences in college football. That's the most important thing that I need from the low baggers is in college football for people to pick a conference and hammer, because it's just a little overwhelming. There's Eric Jones ready to go. Okay, Extreme Pick says Chicago in the building. Chris Kaiser says Pitt, Nats, Rockies for that 3-teamer. Interesting. And Mally Mouse says baseball. I hate it here. Okay. Matt Reynolds says college or NFL will be on every weekend from now till February. Yes. It's going to be wild. It's going to be wild, and I'm going to need help. Coactus says fade Pitt, liquid garbage. Here's Arthur Meade Jr. Okay. Let's get to work right now. And let's start with an improved record. It would be even better if I didn't take the Sunday night baseball under. Let me just quickly go over exactly what happened on Friday, just for a quick memory. Oh God, and I didn't know that Jim Rummy would have been shaking his head. I gave out that A's Rangers first 5 under 5 here on the show. And I was waiting to get, my book was hanging 4.5. I was waiting all day for it to hang a 5. Because it was 4.5 plus 100, waiting. Then at night, I start winner. I was having a really nice little run there, and then I still make the bet at 4.5, and of course it gets to 5. It should have pushed. So that was a push here, but a loss in my action. Let's go over it. It was a nice day. It was a good-looking day. Where does it start? It starts with Dodgers first 5 minus a half on Friday, cash. Dodgers full game minus 1, cash. Braves team total over 4.5, cash. Yankees team total over 5.5, miss. Diamondbacks first 5 minus half, cash, but Diamondbacks team total over 4.5, missed. And I gave that out to Matt Randall for his birthday, which sucked. Chicago, Milwaukee, first 5 under 5, cash so easily. 0 runs through 5. Man, and the way we broke that down, you take a very good pitcher like Hendricks, and he's got this bad road ERA. And I was like, man, it's just not going to continue like that. This is the time of year where he'll start stepping up, and his numbers will regress back to the mean, especially road coming back. And that was easy. Minnesota, Chicago, White Sox over 10 minus 110. I thought that was going to cash easy. 7 runs in the first 3 innings, but that didn't cash. Indians minus 120, cash. Cleveland, KC over 9.5, cash. Baltimore, LA over 10, cash. Giants plus 131, cash. And then San Diego, San Francisco over 8 at minus 120, which was a mistake. I bet it the day before, thinking that it was just a mistake. And I didn't even end up betting that after people were like, no, I don't think that's the right way. And then New York, Boston under 10 last night, missed. So, Rafa, can you throw up the MLB record for me, my guy? So, we have hope I just got to get back to plus units. But, man, I was down 11.7 units coming in Friday and was very, very, very nervous. Okay. Prince of the City ready to go. DJ Big Boss announced. There's Paco Healy, Nasty Nate, Alex Malbury, Ski Prophet. Beautiful group. Okay. JLG said, Jim, did you see Bauer toss that ball yesterday? Man, that drone pilot, people talk about how he breaks down pitching from like a very intellectual way. I don't buy that for a second. Bauer is a clown who's got great stuff, but mentally up here, he's a fade forever, especially in big games. All right, Christopher Smith, Steven Mendez, let's get to work right now. So we have a perfect spot. We have 7 games. Now, I don't know if they've announced who is opening for the Orioles. That hadn't been announced yet. Let's see if that's announced now quickly. Hasn't been announced yet. So we really have 6 games, but 7 overall. And then in saying that, we have Drew Martin joining us in 33 minutes. So we're in great, great shape. Eric Jones says, Jimmy, my baby girl got 3rd in the nation in the 4x1 relay. Wow, Eric Jones. Man, you created that. Oh, man. Wow, impressive. Shout out to the Jones family. Wow, keep us updated. Give us updates. We love to know that the kids of the low baggers are taking it to the next level in sports. So keep us updated. Thank you so much. Wow, Junior Olympics in Sacramento. Eric Jones. That sounds very, very, very good. Okay. Joseph Gomez says, who's got my leche? Let's get to work right now. Wow. Junior Olympics. That's the truth. That is the absolute truth. Okay. We're going to start from the top. Braves at Nationals. Big, big game. Braves 32-21 on the road. Nats 30-23 at home. 92 Fahrenheit. Partly cloudy, 6 miles per hour out to center. 2 dangerous lefties rolling here, Keuchel and Corbin. There's that Fire TV. There's Q Wilson. Let's see what we're getting here. Money lines and totals. So this total opened at 9 and is moved to 9.5 at Pinnacle and 5 Dimes, Bovada, Heritage, Intertops, U-Wager. It's Bookmaker and Bet Online that are still hanging the 9. Corbin opened, and the Nats open up at minus 144. They're now at minus 148. So that's actually come back a bit because that was in the minus 150s. But at this point, we have a 4-cent move towards the Washington Nationals. Jeff Joseph says, Whitney this Saturday, Jimmy McKinsey, probable favorite, many more stakes. Yes, another big day for us, Jeff. At Saratoga on Saturday, another beat the bag competition, $250 up for grabs, and then of course the $250 full price after the 3 rounds. So we have $750 more to give out. We just gave out our first $250. Jeff, I can't wait to hammer that Saturday card with you. And tax was a thing of beauty, Jeff, a thing of beauty. Okay. Oh, the Whitney. Who doesn't just love the Whitney? Okay. Tomino says I'm on Nats first 5. As half-run favorites. Keuchel 3-3, 3.50 ERA, 1.26 WHIP. 43 2/3, 34 Ks, 14 walks, 7 homers. Corbin. Oh, and Russell Gordy's on D-backs and Yanks tomorrow. D-backs says they must win today, lost yesterday, see them winning today and losing Tuesday. Poker Addict says under 9.5 was the play. We may have lost some value on this one on the total. Coactus says Washington Corbin has dominated Atlanta this month. Okay, and someone getting touched. Don't know if it's Keuchel or Corbin, says it's Duke Chaos. And Gas Station Sushi says, I've been killing it at the spa. Yeah, I would imagine that'd be a great track for you. Graveyard of Champions, Gas Station Sushi. I see the horses that you back, and they're always between 4 and 12 to 1. And this is a great, great place to do it. And it was a great day overall. It had that late six race winning streak. So it was a great day overall, but man, it was uncomfortable heading into the Dandy. You know, at that point, man, it'd been a rough little run, so it was nice. Tormio says Keuchel's dominating lefties, but right-handed hitters are hitting him well. Nats line almost all right-handed, and they hit him hard when they faced him earlier. They smash him. Let's go over more of these numbers. Okay, Braves are hitting 267, 801 OPS versus lefties. Nats hit him even harder, 279, 827 OPS versus lefties. The Braves did not complete the sweep of the Phillies on Sunday, losing 9-4. Nats avoided a sweep at the hands of the Dodgers, winning 11-4. Corbin, look at these numbers: 5-1, 1.84 ERA in 10 games, 8 starts in his career against Atlanta, 833 winning percentage. Corbin waited out a rain delay in his last start, an hour 41 minutes in the doubleheader against Colorado at home, and still threw 6 shutout innings. Astute Chaos says, I like the under first 5 or 4 game. Coact is saying Corbin is better. And then Russell Gordy laughing when Fernando Rodney comes in. Okay. Let's keep rolling. Keuchel 0-2, 4.70 ERA in 4 starts against Washington. Hitters are 41 for 111 against them. Man. Current national hitters are 41 for 111 against them, 974 OPS. Dozier, 7 for 15. Eaton, 5 for 15. Kendrick, 9 for 24. Keuchel fan, 12 strikeouts, gave up 2 runs, 3 hits, and 6 innings against the Royals on Tuesday. Now, the Braves are in bad shape. You take Markakis and Swanson out of that lineup. Now, I know it's a deep, talented lineup, but that hurts. That hurts. Russell Gordy says Corbin gets hit like Braves hit. Braves batting, bullpen is trash. Tomarino says Corbin's always been better at home. He's been elite at home this year. And Mr. Ghost says, what'd I tell you, Jim? Imperial hint, Ghoster. At 6 years old, who I was like, does he really have his best races ahead of him? Imperial hint breaks the track record at 6 furlong. Unbelievable call, Ghoster. Man. And Gas Station says, shout out to Clint. Great UFC picks. Watch that Palace Station with Flipper. Oh, I love that you guys are hanging out. Wow, great job, Clint, putting money in people's pockets. And Steven Mendes said, did Trevor Bauer throw a fit on the mound yesterday? He sure did. Well, and Joanie says, I'm up there in the Big Boss contest. Yes, only 3 days left. And Big Boss will be joining us on the final day of the contest on Wednesday to go over everything. Bookie Lover Q says, Nationals hurt too, Jimmy. They should win, but Braves win series. You have to think this is a good spot for the Nats here. Now, I would not want to take the Nats full game, but if you want to isolate Corbin and a Braves lineup without Swanson and Markakis, you know, it feels like the Nationals with their bats against Atlanta, it feels like Tomarino's spot is the best spot on the card for the Nationals. First 5 minus a half. I feel like I've missed out on the total. Let's go to full game total and just make sure that the value is gone. Open at over 9 at minus 120. Let's see what Pinnacle opened it up at. Pinnacle opened up this at 9.5. So nothing's changed there. It's actually gone a cent towards the under. If you could grab it at 9, it's probably a nice spot. Tomarino's saying Braves hit against struggling Phillies rotation, but they haven't hit consistently since the break. Aaron Bistron saying Nats bullpen sketchy. Nats first 5 only play if on Nats. I agree. Astute Chaos versus Atlanta. Left on base percentage of 80. Wow. And Woba at 378. Braves are only great as visitors, as favorites. Russell Gordy says Braves full game, runs game on ESPN. Ralph Perwano says late for work. Reds run line, Angels run line. Good luck, guys. Wish I could say I'm going to jump with you on that red spot. I think that's nice. You know, I'm just going to stick with this first half. Let's just go over the guys that smash Keuchel. Let's go over the guys that smash Keuchel and go from there. Against Keuchel, we know they have a high batting average. Wow, 370, 981 here on Daily Baseball Data. Juan Soto, just small sample size, 2 for 3. Double and triple are the 2 hits. Rendon, 3 for 7, 2 doubles. Dozier, 7 for 15. Yan Gomes, 9 for 20. Parra, 1 for 2. Kendrick, 9 for 24. Eaton, 5 for 15. Come on. And Paco Healy saying, low bag, Delmar Day. Anyone down, let me know. That sounds so good, man. That sounds so good. Delmar Day. I still haven't been to. All right. I've talked myself into this. I'm going to roll with Tomarino Tomor. I'm going to take the Nationals first 5 minus a half at minus 105. Nationals, and that is available at 5 Dimes and Bookmaker and Heritage and UWager. Nationals first 5 minus 0.5 at minus 105. All right. Jeff Joseph said Jimmy had 6 winners on Saturday. Hopefully it's promising. 6 winners, Jeff. You should be leading that competition. I'll take a look at it all. But wow, great job, Jeff Joseph. And Noseguard 1208 says Reds, fellas. And Jen Rummy saying fair line, including juice. Braves minus 30, Nats plus 141. Total runs 9.81. Wow. Interesting. And if you can get the 9, which I'm sure my book is not hanging. Let me just quickly see what my book is hanging. So just take 1 second. See if it's hanging the 9. It's hanging the 9. Sounds like it's a move that should be made. And 9.5. I'm going to stick with the Nats first half -0.5. Backing Corbin and some of the bats to get to Keuchel. That will, and Bookie Lover Q says Trevor Bauer is borderline psycho. I think I like him more now. Guillermo says Paco, I'm in. Guillermo, what a call that was. Guillermo handed me 2 winners yesterday at Del Mar, and one was a thing of beauty, the Mandela horse. Oh man, that was a big part of the success of my day. So shout out to my guy, Guillermo. Yes. Russell Gordy says, Mel, I'm done with these first 5s for the year. The teams who are supposed to win are winning full game, though. Interesting. Shout out to Maine 910. Thank you for shouting out the hat. Yes, it was a gift from our guy, Noli Knows. All right, I'm in. 1 play. Let's move. And Paco says, Guillermo, no doubt, let's do it. I've yet to go this year. Hit me up on Twitter. Yes, you guys, that would make me so happy. So happy. And Pink Eye Genie says, woke up with a drip. Awareness. No butt stuff, kids. Shout out to Pink Eye Genie. Always has his eye on the card and pink-eyed awareness. Okay, Dave LA joining us says MLB plays Nationals first 5 money line. Okay, so now Dave LA taking the money line, or we're taking the -0.5. Rockies first 5 plus run line -125. Marlins first 5 money line -125. Tigers team total over 3.5 -135, and Royals first 5 money line and -135. Wow, I like your card a lot, Dave. And the one that jumps out is that Tigers team total at 3.5 against Berea. That's got to be good. Okay, copy and paster. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. And Russell Gordy says Sonny is rolling. Yes. Robert Manrique says pass. Okay, let's move on to the next stop. Diamondbacks at Marlins. Merrill Kelly versus Caleb Smith. It's 86 Fahrenheit, 94 with humidity. So there doesn't look like there's going to be much precipitation, so I'm expecting the roof to be open at Marlins Park. Let me know if you guys know if it's going to be open at Marlins Park. Diamondbacks 30-27 on the road. Marlins 20-33 at home. Kelly 7-10, 4.22 ERA, 1.27 WHIP, 119 and a third, 96 Ks, 31 walks, 19 home runs allowed. Caleb Smith 6-4, 3.30 ERA, 1.02 WHIP, 90 innings, 110 Ks, 30 walks, 16 homers. And Caleb Smith, we'll go over all of these numbers. He's been very good at home and quite good in July. Let's see the market movements here in this Diamondbacks Marlins situation. Diamondbacks Marlins. Oh, that's full game, first half. Let's go. Money lines totals here at sportsbookreview.com. Arizona, Miami. Arizona opens up as favorites, and the Marlins are now favorites. So a big move towards the Marlins. Also, this total opened at 8, and Pinnacle has moved it down to 7.5. 5 Dimes down to 7.5, and Bet Online down to 7.5. Wow. Actually, every book has moved it down to 7.5, except for Bookmaker that is holding the 8. My guy Main 10 says, listening from the truck with a first-time listener, Prudhoe Bay, Alaska. Man, respect Maine 910. Prudhoe Bay, Alaska. Shout out to Maine 910 and the new listener in the truck with him. Russell Gordy says Diamondbacks win, got Yanks on deck and lost yesterday. Bookie Lover Q said it's humid, been raining as of today. Okay. I doubt the roof will be open. Okay, thank you for letting me know that. Ty Clinton says D-backs bats a little cold. Tom Marino says Diamondbacks might be trading players before the deadline. All right, let's break down this game a little bit more. Diamondbacks, as we know, smash lefties. 283, 84, 840, OPS versus lefties. Marlins, 235, 650 OPS versus righties. Caleb Smith will take the ball today. Yesterday was his 28th birthday. He's 28 years old, so he didn't get drunk last night. He knows well enough to have gotten drunk on Saturday night because he's a 28-year-old. The Marlins will try to win a 4-game series from the Diamondbacks. They won the opener on Friday, dropped the second game, and then won on Sunday. Smith coming off perhaps the best start of the season against the White Sox on Tuesday. 2 hits, 2 walks, 1 run, 7 innings, struck out 9. Again, 3.00 ERA in 4 July outings, 3-0 with a 3 ERA in 4 July outings. And he's bad early. 5.06 ERA in the first inning. But then he seems to get rolling, and that slider's deadly. Batters hitting 156 against the slider. 7.2 strikeouts per 9, 2.3 walks per 9, 19 homers and 21 starts. And then we have Kelly, who has struggled on the road, 4.68 ERA, and he's had a bad July, 5.31 ERA in July. Matt Randall, team play of the day. Kansas City Royals money line. I can tell you right away that I will be hammering that. Let me make a move. All right. Jim Rummy says Marlins plus 156 yesterday was sweet. Wow. Plus 156. That's a big line. Great work. Okay. Russell Gordy says Arizona got the Yanks tomorrow. Oh, but they will win today. Full game. Book it. Wow. Jim Rummy says, I like the over 9.5 if it's a minus 110 or better. It's saying that. That's to Matt Randall. Poker addicted on the first 5 under 4. I just can't trust Caleb Smith in first innings, even though this should be a spot. I don't know if it should be a spot. We're talking about the Diamondbacks. I know they're cold, but they hit lefties. A lot of people are on the Marlins here, and I believe Dave LA is one of them, right? Dave LA took the Marlins first 5 money line. And I'm a little uncomfortable backing them here, but you have to think that, I don't know. I just still, Merrill Kelly on the roads looked bad. He's looked bad of late. That Fire says I'm on the team. Eric Jones says I like Arizona money line too. Torino says I'd lean over. Arizona has hit lefties better this year. Yes, Caleb Smith is a lefty. That Fire TV says no runs in the first inning of the Marlins game, so he is not, that Fire TV not concerned about Caleb Smith 5.06 ERA in the first inning. You know, this just doesn't, you know, why don't we wait? Because we know we're going to be joined by Drew Martin in 18 minutes. We know he knows this Marlins team inside and out. So why don't we wait before I just immediately make a move? Also, you wouldn't feel great taking the Marlins at this point when you had the chance to take them as a dog. They opened up at plus 104. They're now at minus 110. That's at BetOnline. So a 14-cent move towards them. So at this point, I'm not going to make a move. But Molly Mall, D-backs, and over own lefties. And Pink Eye Genie says, wait for the lineups to bet the Arizona game. There's our guy, Pink Eye Genie. He is our Arizona Diamondbacks expert. Pink Eye Genie says, if Alex Avila is in the lineup, would fade Diamondbacks. If Kelly's catching, I would lean Diamondbacks. Interesting. All about the catcher there. And Chris Blanchard joining us. Love that. Says Marlins first 5. Definitely. Okay, let's move on to Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Lyles. Sunny Gray, this total opened up juice to the under 9.5. It's now juice to the over. So the under 9.5 was at minus 115. Now the over 9.5 is at minus 115. The Reds keep taking money. They keep taking money. They're taking a lot of money in the last 45 minutes or so. Gray and the Reds opening at minus 175. They're now at minus 191. Don't like that. I probably should have jumped on this earlier. Neil Money, though, saying don't trust Arizona bats. Jim Remy saying Keller, career-wise, will eventually get touched too. And C-Dom says Gray is up for the start. Didn't he have a calf injury? Let's break down everything about this start. Lyles, Gray. Pirates 23-32 away, and they're in a huge funk right now. Reds 27-25 at home. 87 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 11 miles per hour sideways, but a little bit out to left field, but sideways. Lyles 5-7, 5.36 ERA, 1.47 whip. Sonny Gray back to his old self, 5-6, 3.29 ERA, 1.13 whip. Pirates rating 275, 781 OPS versus righties, and Bell is starting to hit again. Reds rating 240, 730 OPS versus righties. Pirates have lost 8 in a row, 14-16. And Bell has gone deep 4 times in the season series against Cincinnati. They need to get him hot. After the home run derby, he just did absolutely nothing. Lyles 0-6 in his last 8 starts. Allowed 8 runs, 7 hits, 3 home runs in his loss in St. Louis on Tuesday. Lyles 4-2, 4.30, 1.19 whip, 16 appearances against the Reds. He looked fine against the Reds April 4th. I guess not. He only lasted 4 innings, allowed 3 runs. Gray 2-1, 1.62 ERA last 5 starts. 1-3, 4.24 ERA, 5 career appearances against the Pirates. He lost his first 2 starts of the season to Pittsburgh, and then he allowed 1 run on 5 hits in an 8-1 victory last time he faced them on May 27th. Neo Money laughing at this Pirate squad. Russell Gordon says another good spot. Here we go, Pirates full game. Yes, Sonny's rolling and Lyles is trash, like Pittsburgh full game. Guru Sports says Reds big time here, first 5 in full game. And Noseguard said Josh Bell hurt his hand yesterday. Thank you for letting me know that. Or Saturday, excuse me. Thank you for letting me know that. I didn't realize that. Boogie Lover Q said there's bad blood between these teams. Stu Chaos's action's already in. Toronto KC over 10 and Detroit LA over 10.5. And Reds first 5. Bookie Lover Q's on the Reds first 5. That seems to make sense to me. Reds first 5. And I also like them full game. I'm going to copy and paste their Astute Chaos' action. There we go. Just quick copy and paste it there. Aaron Bistern says Suarez, Votto, Puig, Dietrich, Owen, Lyles. Obviously Lyles is going to pitch better than he did last game. I don't doubt that at all. I mean, he was just awful last game. But how much better, and does he still get touched? Makes me want to back Sonny Gray first 5 for sure, but also full game. I just feel like the Reds are playing good baseball where the Pirates keep losing and losing and losing. First, let's see what we get. First 5, -0.5 here. Oh, it's too much. -160. Poker Addicted says, no need to isolate Reds first 5. Their bullpen is a major strength. At times. Dave L.A. says, fading Pirates being amazing. Pirates 2-13 since the All-Star break. Mally Mouse says, Pirates will soon win. Point spread, -1.5. That's the only way you can get decent cash. Then why don't we look at, they're just too big of favorites at this point. Probably don't deserve to be. First 5 team total over for the Reds, 3.5 at a big plus line. Full game's 5.5 at +100. Mally Mouse says, wouldn't be surprised all these big faves lose today. Chris Kaiser said Reds are way too overvalued. How are they getting those odds? And the Dodgers are barely above pick 'em against the Rockies. Russell Gordy saying Sonny not -200, laughing. Atlas Party thinks Reds are going to run -3.5 +150. Guru Sportsbet says Lyles has yet to win a start in July for his career. I didn't know that. Wow. I didn't know that, Guru. Tony Marino says it looks like teams have figured out Lyles. Lefties are crushing him. Mississippi Kid like in Braves versus Nats first 5 under 5.5. If Keuchel can get through this lineup that first time, that should be available. Bookie Lover 2, yeah, I got a -25 Reds first 5. Wow, you just can't take the Reds as this big of a favorite. And the only thing that you might want to do, there's Fat Fist in the house. Says, on my way home from work early, 6 a dog, but we'll at least listen to the bag. Much love to you, Mr. Fat Fist in the house. Pink Eye Genie says, bet LA Dodgers, Colorado over 12.5, now 13. Mr. Spectacular liking Reds first 5. Tomino says Dodgers have a tough travel spot. Grays being elite and Pirates are trash on the road. Wow, Bookie Lover Q, that's crazy. Lyles, 0-17 July. Yeah, the Reds are this big of a favorite. I just can't take. But the -1.5 at -103, almost even money, is a possibility. You'll lose. You're only going to get 8 at bats if that goes well. Rod Zawacki says Pirates +1.5. I see a low scoring 4-3, 5-4 type game. Poker Dick says Reds team total over 3.5. It's that low. It's 3.5 first 5 at +119. Yeah, I can't. I just can't take him at this big of a favorite. So laying off the Reds right now. Let's move on to Blue Jays Royals. Thomas Pannone versus Brad Keller. 86 Fahrenheit clear, 9 miles per hour in. Blue Jays flying into Kansas City. Jays are hitting 228, 709 OPS versus righties. We get to see the MLB debut of Bo Bichette, which we're all very, very excited about. 8th ranked player of all MLB prospects. Royals hitting 236, 679 OPS versus lefties. Pannone's made 3 starts among his 25 appearances, and he's gone a decent amount. He's gone 2 2/3, 2 1/3, and 4 1/3. Keller's just rolling. 7 scoreless innings in a 2-0 defeat against the Braves. The guy is just absolutely rolling. Anthony Mastronardi said, what about Reds team total at 5.5 full game? It's just a little too high. So I don't... Paco Healy talking about Godmother 87. Yes, she's a WNBA expert. We still have Suze, too. We have Suze. She came up with the punch in the gooch. But yes, we are lacking enough. Oh, we have Brooke Jordan's great. Brooke Jordan, but Red Girl is our lead female capper, but we'd sure love to have more in the chat. Okay. And Christopher Comtini said Native Queen smashed Sunday Night Baseball last night. No surprise. AM says Pannone in Buffalo for a reason. I don't trust Pannone. I don't trust Pannone. I know that Bo Bichette's going to give the team a boost, but you got to like the Royals and Keller here to me. And let's see what we're getting money lines and totals right now here in this spot. Toronto, the Royals open up at -130, a 3-cent move towards the Jays. Pannone, this total opened up at 10.5, now at 9.5. Wow, that's wild. Guru says Keller is a killer Royals all day. Russell Gordon says KC off a big win, Blue Jays off a bad loss, taking Jays. But the Blue Jays feel good about themselves. And whatever happened after Stroman was traded, he lit up into that locker room, that clubhouse. So we will see. Jeff Joseph, Jimmy, watching the Jays being interviewed very down. Not only Stroman, but Sogard was very popular. Morale's not good. I see that being the situation. David Ellis says KC feels good after Indians win. KC first 5. Dave Tomar says when teams are on a losing streak at this time of year, it usually means players are wearing down. Tom Marino says Keller is off one of his best starts of the year. I think he gets hit here, but he's been great start after great start after great start. He's rolling right now. I think the Royals continue their momentum and get to the Jays. I think the Jays were just a nice, comfortable run at home. They were hitting the ball well. Now they go into that big KC ballpark up against their ace, 3.95 ERA, 1.36 whip. See, to me, oh, there's Andrew McKinnis in the house. Love seeing that. Thank you so much for joining us, Andrew McKinnis. Russell Gordon says, taking Jay's Stroman effect in play here. Ulysses Hayes saying, Stroman leaving could affect the locker room and the fans. It's tricky. Poker Addicted says, Jays on the road aren't good anyways. Add the little morale. That's the way I see it. You know what? Tomino says everyone knew Stroman was being traded. He still did something in the clubhouse. We don't know. But there was some altercation after it was announced after the game. Something happened. Closed door, locked door. And we're not entirely sure what happened. Poppy Longwood said, we're talking about Coco. Yeah, Coco in action today. Or Tuesday morning, sorry, minus 132. She's very good. Put the house on it, says Poppy Longwood on Coco. And Fatfish says, I really think I got pink eye. You know, there's nothing wrong with your first stint in the old realm of pink eye. John Garcia says, you might be on something, Jimmy, when the Jays and KC. Look, I just feel like the Jays were in a very comfortable spot offensively at home. And now they go off to KC against the best pitcher in Kansas City. You know? Cash Wood says, why of all the teams that Stroman acquired by the Mets can anyone? No one can. It's just what a bum they have general manager there. You know, Pick Eye Gene says KC was getting smashed before the Bauer blow up. I like the Royals here. They're not big favorites. They're just enough. Bookie Lover Q says, don't think he wanted to go to the Mets. Yeah. Okay, let's see what we're getting here in this spot. Jays, Royals, KC, first 5, money line. So they have to be up a half run, and I don't see why they wouldn't. Royals hitting 236, 679 OPS versus lefties. I just feel like the Royals are the team here, but I guess I don't want to double up, but I'm going to. Let's see. Russell Gordy says best pitcher only minus 115. And I'd love to see where you're getting minus 115. Let me just see what Russell Gordy's talking about. Minus 115. Across the board, it's minus 126 at Pinnacle. Minus 125 is the lowest, and that's at 5 dimes. Ugh. I'm going to make a move on it. I just feel like this is a tough spot for the Jays. They're a bad baseball team. The Royals feel good about themselves. Brad Keller's rolling right now. All right, I'm going to make a move. First five minus a half for the Royals at plus 100. That's available at Heritage. First 5 minus a half is plus 100. And then I'll take them full game money line here with the Royals. Tailing the taint play of the day at minus 125. That's available at right now. Sorry, that's available at 5 dimes. Poker Addict says take Royals reverse run line in addition to the money line. This is an emphasis spot. I take back some juice here, but I doubled up there. Russell Gordy says open at minus 115. At what book, Russell Gordy? Let's take a look at some of these books here. It opened at minus 125 at Pinnacle. It opened at minus 125 at 5 dimes. It opened at minus 130 at Bookmaker. It opened at minus 130 at Bet Online. I'm going to stop looking. So what happened was yesterday when the Jays were up 8-1, it went down to minus 114, and then money started coming back on the Royals. Look, you're right, it's a fishy line. You're right, it's a fishy line, but I guess that makes me a little uncomfortable that it's a fishy line. I guess. Let's keep rolling along because I've already locked in both those. At Will Hill, Russell Gordy says, okay, let me just see that here. Quickly, see if I can get that. I can't. Okay. All right, don't have. I thought we have Will Hill here. Sorry, let me just quickly look if we got Will Hill. Set my books. Oh, sorry. Okay. Will Hill. Okay, I've got Will Hill, so let me check it out. Here we go. Toronto, KC, Will Hill opening line here. Will Hill opened it at minus 130. It got down to minus 115 at 11:05 p.m. Will Hill opened it up yesterday at 12:38 p.m. at minus 130. It went to minus 125 at 3 o'clock, minus 120 at 3:53. 11:05 p.m. It got down to minus 115, and it's back at minus 130 there. But I hear what you're saying. And often when it's a fishy line, it does not work out for you. This could be happening again here. Okay, let's keep rolling. Sorry about that. Let's keep rolling on Dodgers, Rockies. Dodgers, Rockies, full game money lines and totals are going to be joined in 3 minutes by Drew Martin. And then we will have the Tigers, Angels game and the Orioles, Padres game still to break down. Okay, here we go. Full game, money lines and totals. Dodgers open up at minus 135. They're now at minus 127. An 8-cent move towards Colorado Rockies and John Gray. This total opened up at 12.5. It's now at 13 at almost all the books, but Heritage and Pinnacle still hanging 12.5. I find this a tricky game. I really do find this Dodgers game, Dodgers Rockies, because you initially think, wow, they're going to be back in Colorado. Going to be runs. But Maeda has spectacular numbers against Colorado, and John Gray is pitching so well right now. 91 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 9 miles per hour out to left center. Dodgers 29-24 on the road. They're just 5 games over 500 on the road. We have to remember that. Rockies, though, on a huge slump. 2 games over 500 at home. Christopher Comtini says Rockies ain't hitting. What gets them hitting is going home, but you are right. They're not hitting right now. Maeda, 7-7, 3.81 ERA, 1.06 whip. John Gray, 9-7, 4.05 ERA, 1.40 whip. Chris Blanchard says Rockies smash Maeda. Maybe they do today, but they certainly haven't in their history this year. He's 1-0 with a 2.76 ERA against the Rockies. Overall, he's 6-3 with a 2.41 ERA against the Rockies. And 7 starts, 10 career games at Coors Field. He has a 3.12 ERA at Coors Field. So Maeda is good here. Ty Clinton says under. And Ulysses Hayes says they want you to jump on the Rockies. Ulysses Hayes says take Dodgers money line, write it down. They're going to rock Colorado. Dave L.A. on Rockies first 5 plus a half run. Wow. And Neil Frank says I bet it at L.A. minus 134 last night at Heritage, but it was minus 122 when I checked last. Makes me nervous. Poker Addict says Rockies are an auto-fade team right now. Literally, they have 3 hitters in the lineup that aren't awful. Absolutely awful. And Dave L.A. says Maeda 0-3 with a 3.92 ERA in 5 appearances, 4 as a starter this month. All right, now let's talk about Gray. Allowed 3 runs or fewer in 6 of his past 7 starts. He was looking good against Washington, in Washington on Wednesday, and then he took a line drive to the calf. He's fine. He was limping later, but he's fine. X-rays showed no damage. He's good to go. There's Alex Ramirez in the house. Thank you for joining us, Alex. Aaron Bistron, first 5, 7.5. Game seems a bit high for pitchers with success against each other. Tomino says Dodgers traveling across the country through 2 time zones. Gray, one of his good starts came against the Dodgers, June 29th. 3 runs, 2 earned, 6 2/3. Overall, 13 career starts against LA, 4-5, 4.75 ERA. Darryl Lyles also on the first 5 under. You know, I'm afraid to take any unders at Coors Field, and that might just get me off taking the over. Fat Fist says, how many day games are there today? There are 0. 0 day games today on Monday. All night games, Fat Fist. Rod Zawacki says Dodgers win 7-4. This game makes me very uncomfortable at this point. I have no move on it. We still have the Tigers-Angels game and the Orioles-Padres. What we can do with the Orioles-Padres, even though the Orioles still have not announced a opener at this point. John Garcia says, still doing the Coors Field fade, Jimmy? No, I've only done it 4 times this year. I did it earlier in the year, went 1-3, and just stopped altogether. Ulysses Hayes says, Dodgers will endure. They will be home shortly. Antoine Seymour says, Dodgers get money. Let's go. And here we go. Drew Martin says, Buenos dias, amigos. Drew Martin joining us, as always, on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday mornings. And I am very excited to have him on this Monday. Traditionally, a very successful day for us here at Betting with the Bag. Drew Martin in the house. And if you want to party with us, man, you got to come and do it in Miami with us at the Diplomat Beach Resort. How we do? Drew Martin, how you doing today?
Jimmy the Bag, I'm doing good, man. Happy Monday to you. Happy Monday out there to the chat box. Yeah, Mondays have been pretty good. Haven't been that good of a past week for me in MLB, but kind of staying afloat here, Jimmy. Hit a couple underdogs, but other than that, under 50%. But I'll tell you, it's been a fun weekend, man. And excited to get after this card, and even more excited to party with you down here in South Florida. Should be fun. Was just at the beach yesterday taking a couple videos for Sophia. We got the Marlins game. That's going to be fun, man. NFL preseason game, and of course the Miami-Florida game, week 0, to kick off college football season. Man, football's not far away. It's exciting times. Very exciting times. Also, don't forget Gulfstream Park on Thursday and Saturday. And I bet you that's going to turn into, I guess I can't go to Friday because I've got the Audible. But Thursday and Saturday, 100%, we're going to be at Gulfstream, hammering it in between Betting with the Bag shows. I can't wait. I just absolutely can't wait, Drew. All right, let's get to work. And last week was a very interesting week for me. Monday, I had a 6-1 day. Tuesday, I come back with an 0-6 day. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I get killed. To the, well, let's see how bad. I was down 11.69 units Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then I got a little over 5 of them back on Friday. So I feel hopeful. I did lose the Sunday night baseball under, but I feel very hopeful. Let's get to work, Drew. Let's get to work. What's the first game on your card? Well, Jimmy, I bet 2 games so far on today's card, and I actually heard you talking about Colorado and the Dodgers right when I was getting linked up with Rafa. So I can just go to my opinion on that, and hopefully it agrees with yours and a number of the low baggers out there in the chat box. But really looking at this more from a first 5 inning perspective, but overall the full game I think correlates with it. It's just mainly on these starting pitchers, and we got Maeda versus Gray. And of course, when you're talking John Gray at home, Colorado Rockies, we know this year anyway, he's been better at home than on the road. It happens every so often in Colorado where guys just, he's come up through the organization, and he's got it shows in his ERA, 3.90 ERA at home in Colorado. So I always have his starts at home circled to usually bet on Colorado, but in this situation, more interested in the total, mainly because Maeda, it's the under is hit in his last 4 starts. He's been pretty good. His ERA in Colorado is 3.12. He for whatever reason he pitches very good here, a mile high, and mainly because it's heavy ground ball rate, and he's pitched well against Colorado. So plus when you take the best 2 players, in my opinion, the best 2 hitters in this game, and you look at their recent performance, Bellinger has not been good over the last week or so, and Nolan Arenado is 3 for 27 with 13 Ks versus Maeda. So those are 2 big parts of both of these lineups not really performing well and projected to perform well tonight. I heard you talk about the travel spot as well. Doesn't look conducive for the batters. But overall, I just think this 7.5 in the first 5 is a little bit too high, and I know it's scary to bet unders in Colorado, but I went ahead and bet that under 7.5 for the first 5, and also looking at the full game under of 13.5 if you can find it. I mean, yeah, it makes sense, but I haven't taken it under at Coors Field all year, and these things, they just blow up in cappers' faces. And there's been a couple times where I said, well, I would have, just to test, I would have taken the under here at Coors Field, and it's gone over. One time it did go under. So, but I believe I'd say 1 out of 4 times that I'm just so scared. And then here we see this total opened up at 12.5 and minus 125 to the over. So heavily juiced to the over, and it's now at 13 at those books. Only Pinnacle and Heritage are holding the 12.5. I'm going to keep an eye on it. I'm just too scared. You're right. Everything kind of adds up with the way Gray's pitching at home, with the way Gray's pitching anywhere in the last 2 months. And then Maeda with his numbers at Coors Field. But I mean, I still can't do it. Now, if we come back and Pinnacle's moved it down to 12 or something like that, and I like you looking at the first half at 7.5. That hasn't moved to the over. So the first half has stayed still, but the full game's moved to the over. I'm just too scared, Drew. I respect it. So you're making the first 5 under 7.5 an official play?
Yeah, I bet it for one unit. And Jimmy, you touched on something that, when I was first thinking about this and breaking it down, and also there's a good article on SBR Picks right now about it as well that I read this morning. And, sometimes in baseball, at least I got to tell myself, it's one unit. And you're right. You use the phrase, this blows up in cappers' faces. And to put it in perspective, I bet on the Red Sox Yankees under in London or in England, wherever that was. And it blew up and it was like 20 runs. It was a terrible look. And, but when you look back and you grade yourself, it's one unit. That's where money management comes in. So in my opinion, more than 53% of the time, I believe that this first 5 under will hit. Now, if it is in Colorado, if both pitchers don't bring it, I mean, there could be 20 runs scored tonight. I'm not saying that there can't be, and it looks bad, but when in reality, it's only one unit. So even though that it can blow up in your face, you got to have money management. And in my opinion, even though the volatility might be there, more times than not, in my handicapping anyway, the under 7.5 for the first 5 will hit. So it's a positive EV for me, and I bet it for one unit.
Hey, I like it. I like it from a fan perspective. I'm going to like watching the game, knowing that you're on the underside. I just can't pull the trigger in Colorado. And I think that I should never pull the trigger on unders at this point. Now, we'll see what the market does with this game, and I'll keep an eye on it, but I'm just too scared to make this move. Too scared. But I like it. What's next on your card?
The other game that I bet is I saw a commenter here, I think Bobby Longwood, saying Marlins questions in the chat box, and all about it, man. I'm involved tonight in the D-backs Marlins game. It's the last game of the throwback. They're wearing their old 97 uniforms, which I think they should wear any game. But outside of that, I'm involved in this from a totals perspective as well. We got Miami. Caleb Smith, 1.79 ERA and 7 home starts year to date. He has 5 earned runs, 10 hits allowed in his last 18 innings. That's with 22 Ks. So he's back. In the middle of the year, Caleb Smith kind of had a little rough spot, but now he's back. I think he's back on his game. And Merrill Kelly on the other side, he got blown up in his last start. I believe it was against the Baltimore Orioles at home, but he's a guy that's pitched pretty well on the road, and Caleb Smith has pitched well at home. So split-wise, I think this points towards less runs being scored, at least by the starting pitchers. And Merrill Kelly, I think, what was it? Yeah, he got blown up against Baltimore. I think it was 6 or 7 runs. But when you break it down using Brooks Baseball, his velocity was still there, staying about 92 miles an hour with his fastball. That's in line with how it's been in his last since he's been this whole year. So when the velocity is still there, I do look for a bounce back. I don't see an injury, elbow injury, anything like that with the velocity still being there. So I think that he bounces back against let's face it, a subpar Marlins lineup here. The Marlins last 14 days, 65 weighted runs created number. That's second worst in all of baseball. Last 7 days, second worst in all of baseball. Only the Detroit Tigers lineup, which, by the way, I mean, it's fade Detroit City. It's just the price is a little bit too expensive today anyway. I'm looking to fade Detroit for the near future. But back to the Marlins, looking to fade the Marlins right now offensively. And I'm going to do it by betting the under team total of 3.5, Jimmy.
Yeah, my only concern is that what we're seeing from Merrill Kelly is a pitcher who's not gone through 162 major league game season, where he's coming over from Korea. And that's my only fear with him. My fear is that what we're seeing with this ERA in what is it, in July, 5.31, is him just sort of getting tired. Now, that's just a guess, and that makes me uncomfortable. But now, the more I started talking about it, the more I started wanting to, or hearing you talk about it and thinking about Merrill Kelly coming over from Korea, maybe not be comfortable with this amount of innings, was to back Caleb Smith and the Marlins. But their offense has been so bad. And so I guess your look makes sense. Are you on first 5 or full game? Oh, no, you're on just the team total under. Sorry, you're on the Marlins team total under 3.5?
Yeah, exactly. I'm on the Marlins team total under 3.5, and that's full game. I don't have what I could find anyway access on first 5 team total under, so I got the full game team total under. And I was with you at first glance. I was looking to bet on Caleb Smith and the Marlins. Just this Marlins lineup right now is not very good. Really, all season outside of a couple spurts, they've been okay. And the fact that Arizona is number 3 in baseball versus lefties. So I still think Caleb Smith is going to have success, but there's always that kind of stat that I like to pay attention to: handedness of the pitcher. How the lineup faces against that. And Arizona has been pretty good this year, so I do want to respect that. So I think that the smarter bet is on the Marlins team total under.
Yeah, this game makes me uncomfortable. I would like to back Marlins early, but Caleb Smith has such a bad, you need to get out of that first inning. It's almost as if just as soon as that first inning's through, then maybe you make an in play on the Marlins and Caleb Smith. I see the market move from the Diamondbacks to the Marlins, so that takes me off of any thought really on the Diamondbacks. I'm not going to go against this market move. I find it tough. I find this game difficult. And at this point, I'm going to stay off of it. Tom says Marlins are playing hard. Arizona will likely trade key players soon. Marcus Wood says the world's on the Angels run line bag, but you can't bet Zimmerman though. What do we do? I can't wait to talk about that game. We will talk about that game. And Bookie Lover 2 Q says Castellanos got traded already. Not that any of us know. I have not heard that Castellanos got traded. So Drew on the Marlins first 5 under. I love these small cards because we can over analyze it, and I don't think there's such a thing. I want to spend as much time on these games as possible. I feel like the days where I struggle are with the 15 game cards because I'm trying to get to each game, and I don't spend enough time in each one. I'm going to stay off of this right now. I'm going to stay off of this Marlins spot, but I hear your play on Marlins team total, full game, under 3.5. Drew, we haven't talked about this game here with Tigers at Angels, and I'd love to talk about it. You've already discussed the Tigers a little bit. Do you mind if we cap this game together right now?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
And Russell Gordy said, Jimmy, you're overthinking the Arizona game. Got Yanks tomorrow. They win today. Russell Gordy, I stopped going against market moves a couple months ago, and my record has improved quite a bit since then. So there's no way I'm going to take the Arizona 0. So now, if there's U-shaped movement, we come back and it's a pick 'em again, then maybe I'll take a look at it. But at this point, I'm not even going to open it up. But I hear what you're saying, Russell. And, at this point, in this type of a game, there's no wrong move, really, at this point. It's open for debate. Let's talk Tigers, Angels. Tigers 17-35 on the road. Angels 28-26 at home. Angels barely survived being swept, almost got swept in the 4-game series against the Orioles. Clearly that the mental exhaustion from the Skag staff they're starting to feel it. You can run on adrenaline for so long, but then it starts hitting you, and especially through the dog days of August. I do not expect the Angels to be a buy-on team moving forward. 77 Fahrenheit, 6 miles per hour out to straightaway center. Zimmerman 0-8, 7.57 ERA, and his numbers just keep getting worse and worse and worse. 14.09 ERA in July. Barria 4-3, 6.63 ERA, 1.55 WHIP, 38 innings, 37 Ks, 13 walks, 7 home runs. Usually they use an opener for Jaime Barria, but Barria is going to be starting this game. Tigers 226, 658 OPS versus righties. I can't understand how they're this bad when you look at their lineup. They shouldn't be this bad. Feel bad for Gardy, but maybe he should get the boot. Angels are hitting 262, 786 OPS versus righties. Matt Thaiss hit the walk-off yesterday, 2 home runs. Orioles almost swept them in a 4-game series. It should not have happened. But LA historically beats the Tigers badly in Anaheim, 15-2 and 18 since 2002. Berea made one appearance against the Tigers last August. Who cares? 5 2/3. Looked fine. But that was the last year. He seems like a much shittier pitcher this year for whatever reason. Tigers 30-71. They've lost 6 straight, 12-13, 14-16. 4 wins in their last 32 games and have lost 24 of their last 25 against AL West opponents. Zimmerman's trash, but he has good numbers against the Angels historically. This is a spot where the Angels are enormous favorites. To me, the only thing that appeals to me is the Detroit Tigers here. But I don't know if I could pull the trigger on this terrible, terrible baseball team and Zimmerman. Maybe this is just a stay-off spot because the Angels should in no way be a minus 230. Drew Martin, Tigers, Angels. Do you have any leans or any way to lead us into a spot?
I mean, Jimmy, it's funny that you say, looking towards the Detroit Tigers, because coming at this was the one team that I circled as just fade city, man. And when you start looking for paths to victory, it's the Detroit Tigers. We just talked about the Marlins, and a bad lineup this year. The only lineup, in my opinion, that's worse is the Detroit Tigers. They can't hit anybody, man. And especially recently, they literally have the worst by the numbers. And like you said, they should be better, and they should. But by the numbers, they're just not. So I hate betting that, hey, they should be better type profile. And you look at starting pitcher, Zimmerman's trash. I totally agree with you. You look at relief, the relief staff, you could make the argument the Tigers are the worst bullpen right now as well. So it's just pretty much all 3 major aspects. They're not very good at all, and they are fade city for me. You go to the Angels, and I could see that as well. A little regression off of that kind of, I guess you could say, motivation that they did have, the adrenaline. It's kind of seemed to fade right now. Plus the fact laying more than minus 200, I'm not interested in that. But I don't know, Jimmy. Just the profile of betting bad teams in baseball to cover these plus numbers. I just don't like that, especially at this time of the year with a team that is not showing much. They got to show something as far as how the path to victory, and I'm not seeing it from Detroit. So I just don't like that profile. I don't think it's a profitable profile down the end of the MLB season here. And I just think, if you're looking at betting the Detroit Tigers, just kind of philosophy wise, I would just tell you to wait till week 0 of college football, because I just don't see it, man. And I think it's a losing proposition.
Yeah, I hear you. The only thing that Zimmerman's trash, yes. And Berea's got to, we've seen him be much better. Last year, he was so much better than he is this year. But, and Jim Rummy saying my fair line, Angels minus 214, Tigers plus 233, not much here. I would possibly take a stab at the Tigers first 5 plus a half, a plus 140. I'm not going to, but let's talk from a totals perspective. Do you think there's going to be a ton of runs in this game, or do you think this could be a spot where the under is in play? It opened at 10.5 juice to the under. Now it's juice to the now it's a pick 'em at the 10.5. You have any feel on the total?
The night game. West Coast here, it makes me look towards the under, but we just talked about it. Zimmerman, I could see the Angels getting to him offensively. I don't have a strong lean, Jimmy, to answer your question shortly, but just a double-digit number here. 2 lineups that aren't necessarily lighting the world on fire. One lineup that, in my opinion, is the worst in baseball. I would lean under 10.5 if you made me bet it.
Yeah, it'd be such a sweaty under.
Sweaty's a good word.
Nut flush on. It's great start to the day with a great show now after breakfast with the wife, then pool and sportsbook all day. Man, Nut flush Allen, I like your life very much. What a family you have. What a wife you have in Kristen. Man, love that shit. Shout out to our guy, Nut flush Allen Kristen, in Vegas as we speak. Anybody got a play that they're in love with, please send it to our guy, Nut flush Allen, at the Golden Nugget as we speak. Okay. Let's talk about some of these other spots. We have this Orioles game. We can't talk about it. I know there's no line out right now, but it's Paddock for the Padres. The Orioles are going to go with an opener. They're not sure. And then Eshelman will be in there. Eshelman, 4 games, 3 starts since being promoted by the Orioles on July 1st. Second round pick, 2015 out of Cal State. 12 earned runs, 21 hits, 6 walks, 12 strikeouts in 18 2/3 innings, 1.45 whip, 276 opponents batting average. Orioles coming off winning 3 of 4 against the Angels. Padres swept at 2. Actually going back, one thing, Orioles have won 7 of their past 11 and 13 of their past 25. Padres are the bad team in this matchup. They've won 7 of their past 23 and lost 9 of their last 10 games at Petco. Paddock now pitching. We'll talk more about it as we move forward. Poppy Longwood says, I quit doing Uber for sports betting. So far, no regret. I feel that. Oh, and Yacobonis, Nosecard says, Yacobonis is going to be the starter. Is there any, Ulysses Hayes saying, like San Diego in this spot, is there any lean you have in this game to help us into our afternoon study?
Yeah, sure, Jimmy. I mean, Paddock on the hill, especially recently, I think he's kind of found it since that downturn that he had, about a month or two ago. And he had a short stint back down on the DL and then came back up and he's found it again. So I have him circled as a bet on candidate here. Of course, I'm not going to lay too much because of what a lot of what you just talked about. You know, the Orioles are playing good baseball right now. One of the top 10 lineups in baseball in the last 2 weeks. San Diego, pretty much the opposite of that. And at home, they haven't been playing well. So even though it's the away team, Baltimore has been pretty good and they've been cashing some plus tickets here. So I'm not looking to step in front of that. And with Paddock on the hill for San Diego, it does make me look towards them, at least first 5 action. Likely, I'll watch from the sidelines, but if there is a big plus price on the Orioles, I would be tempted.
I can understand that. And, talking about what happened with the Tigers, from a psychological perspective, you're losing. You're in Seattle, you get on a plane, and you get to fly into LA. And that's got to feel good. It's hot, it's nice. You get to your hotel, you go to the stadium in Anaheim. It's a Monday night. There's not going to be that many fans there. It's nice weather. I feel like there's a chance the Tigers could show something in this game. Just going from Seattle to, look where they've been. They were in Detroit for how long? Like, they haven't been in a nice city since Chicago a month ago. I mean, they were at home against Boston, then they go into KC, then they go into Cleveland, then at home versus Toronto, Philly, then into Seattle. And now they get on a plane, they get to go into LA, put on the sunglasses, remember that they're Major League Baseball players still, no matter how shitty their record looks. I just think that it's possible for them to turn it around at this point. Bookie Lover Q saying Tampa Bay Bucks just signed Vincent Testaverde out of the great school of Albany, Drew. Which is, I don't know what the hell that's going to do for the team, but maybe just nice to see a Testaverde on the back of a jersey. What do you think about that just for the Tigers? Russell Gordy says, hi, Jimmy, what's in the cup, Tigers? I'm not going to make a move on them at this point, but I just like the idea of them flying into LA and maybe feeling better about themselves. Maybe we should just move on from this spot. Maybe I'm just fucking beating this to death. But If I gave you a free play on a side, first 5 or full game in Tigers Angels, 1 unit, what would you do?
I would take the Angels full game minus 230.
Okay.
I see what you're saying. I thought it was funny how you said they haven't been to a nice city in a while and then they rattled off a bunch. I don't know if you offended anybody out there. I thought that was pretty funny, but I do get your point, flying in, maybe looking at the beach, although that could work against you, especially like with college kids. I feel like when they go to a place and the beach is there, sometimes we see it in bowl handicapping bowl games. And when the teams are at the beach and stuff, I kind of look to fade them a little bit more, but I see what you're saying. They could get a little pep in their step and play good, and that can happen. It's baseball. They could cash this ticket, Jimmy. So I don't want to detriment you too much. I mean, if you're feeling it, you see the reasons why, go ahead and bet it. And it's money management, 1 unit. But I just don't like the profile of betting bad teams just because, and especially starting pitcher, relief pitching, and lineup wise, I just don't see it with the Tigers. And for me, they're pretty much fade city.
I get it. Well, we got to put a bow on this show. I'm on Nationals first 5 minus a half in this Keuchel Corbin spot. Did you have any lean? I know you know these teams very well. Atlanta at Washington.
I do have Keuchel circled as kind of a bet on here, except I believe Washington's numbers are pretty good against him, and them being at home, it does point me towards them. And Corbin on the hill, what was it? I believe his numbers are pretty good against the Braves. So in terms of past performance, it kind of kept me off of that. I did want to be on the Braves, but I ended up passing on that one, Jimmy. So yeah, I don't have too much on the Braves Nats other than, it's a fun one to watch. And I think that this NL East kind of race here could get exciting down the end because Washington's starting to turn it on. But no, I didn't bet it overall, man.
And in this Pirates Red spot, I said nonstop that Jordan Lyles had sprinkled some sort of magic fairy dust all over the mound, was somehow having he's just a bum who could be picked up by any team every summer. And he started out the year so well. Then he starts getting hit 0-6 in his last 8. He's put money in my pocket, but I can't take the Reds as a minus 190 favorite, even though the Pirates keep losing and losing and losing, and the Reds have Sonny Gray on the mound. Why did you stay off this Pitt Cincinnati game?
Same as you, man. I had in my mind, looking out, 2 days in advance, I had Cincinnati circled. I also had the under circled. But I just couldn't get there because one, the price is just too high, especially now, bumped up from minus 170 to over minus 190. I just think it's too expensive. And when I checked the weather, at least last night, I haven't checked the weather today. It was blowing out to left center at over 10 miles per hour. I was looking to get on the under just because I think Sonny Gray is going to have success against this Pittsburgh lineup, which in my opinion is bet against, at least offensively. And I think that Lyles, has a chance to have success against the Cincinnati Reds. So, with it bumping up towards double digits in terms of a total in the NL, I was looking towards the under. I haven't checked the wind, but the wind kind of kept me off of that, betting it under anyway.
Yeah, I hear that because I have sideways, but sort of out to left field, tiny bit out to left field, but sideways at 11 miles per hour, but we'll see. Great stuff. Normel says, here's a tip. Don't bet on bad teams. And that is pretty much what Drew was saying as well. And it is a simple but good tip. Drew, thank you so much for joining us, man. Love having you on these Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday mornings. Where can we find you on Twitter? What shows you have coming up? And can you please review your 2 official plays on the card?
Yeah, love being on with you, Jimmy. On Twitter, at Drew Martin Bets. For today's card, I got Colorado, LA Dodgers under 7.5 for the first 5 innings for 1 unit, and also the Miami Marlins team total under 3.5. I think Merrill Kelly bounces back. The velocity was still there, and this Marlins lineup, second worst in baseball by my numbers, only ahead of the Detroit Tigers. So those are my 2 bets for today. Marlins team total under, and Dodgers, Rockies under 7.5 first 5. It's in Colorado. It's a risky bet. Still put 1 unit on it. I do like it. At Drew Martin Bets on Twitter. I'll be back here tomorrow and Wednesday about 11:45 Eastern time. Just going down the card with Jimmy, and Saturday mornings, the closing line with Ian Cameron, breaking down baseball, CFL. Hopefully we can break down some CFL either tomorrow or Wednesday, probably Wednesday, Jimmy. I'll tell you that Hamilton change at quarterback, going from Masoli, who's kind of a dual threat guy, can make things happen with his feet, to Dane Evans, who's good in his own right, coming from Tulsa, lit it up there, but a different style quarterback. And we start talking about change and finding ways to win north of the border in the CFL. I think we might be able to find it here with the Hamilton Ticats.
Interesting. I love that look. And I'm going to be all ears when you break down the quarterback out of Tulsa, because I don't know him very well. But yeah, coming off a nice 2-0 weekend in CFL to get back plus units in CFL. And it's funny. I was 7-8 going into this weekend. I was like, I'm seeing it clearly. I know I'm going to turn it around. I expect to be between 5 and 10 units up in a month in CFL. I feel like I have a really good read on these rosters right now, better than I've had in years. So I feel like we're going to keep finding winners in CFL. Drew Martin, thank you so much for joining us. Yes, we will talk CFL. Let's cap it. Let's wait till Wednesday so we can get a little bit more information on injuries, because they don't start creeping out until Tuesday late in the afternoon. So let's wait till Wednesday. Let's hammer it on Wednesday. Much love to you, Drew Martin. Thank you so much for joining us. All the low baggers, thank you guys for joining us. We have no show without you guys. Here is Jin Remy says, if you pick bad teams at right price, that's more sustainable than going with good teams at weak price long term. And there is a lot of truth there. Much love to you guys. I'm on Nationals first 5 minus a half at minus 105. And then I doubled up on the Royals, which is sort of fishy at this price. And maybe it shouldn't have been a double up. Royals first 5 minus half plus 100. Full game minus 125. And that's it right now. That's it. But more will come. We'll have a lot of time to hammer these plays. Matt Randall taking play today. Royals money line. And then Dave LA is on Nationals first 5 money line -135, Royals or Rockies first 5 plus on the run line at -125, Marlins first 5 money line -125, Tigers team total over 3.5, Royals first 5 money line at -135. God, and I keep going back to that Tigers team total. Makes sense to me. 3.5 at -138. I know that their bats are off, but you're telling me the Tigers aren't going to get 4 runs here? I think that's a great look that he's got. Tigers over 3.5. I'm adding it. I think that's such a good look Dave's on there. Then at least I can back the fact that of my breakdown of the Tigers feeling good flying into LA. And then I can not have Zimmerman involved and go up against Berea and the Tired Angels Club. I think that's such a good look. I'm taking it right now. Team total over 3.5. -138. That's available at Pinnacle. All right, there's my next addition. Much love to you guys. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to spend the afternoon hammering these cards more and then come back on the late show and put a bow on this. Leche. Hey, actually, Drew Martin, will you give us a Leche?
Well, Jimmy, I mean, we've gone over this. I'm kind of timid and scared, but hey, Leche, Alos Bookmakers.
Oh, that cow's getting jerked off.